Security, please escort Miss Williams out of the building.
Ma'am, you need
Those
to come with
words
me.
echoed through the entire office floor. 4 to 7 employees stopped typing, stopped talking, stopped breathing. All eyes on Naomi Williams, standing at her desk, box in her hands, taze burning behind her eyes. Her boss, Victoria Ashford, stood 3 feet away, arms crossed, perfectly manicured nails tapping against a designer blazer. And Naomi, leave your badge. You won't be needing it. Naomi's hands trembled. 10 years she gave this company. And this is how it ended. But what Victoria Ashford didn't know was that in exactly 30 days, she would see Naomi Williams again, at this exact same spot. And the man standing next to Naomi would change everything Victoria thought she knew about power. Let me take you back to where it all started. 6 months earlier, Hamilton and Associates marketing firm, downtown Chicago. Naomi Williams was the best account manager on the floor. Everyone knew it. She'd landed the Thornton Industries account, the Morrison Hotel Group, the Peterson Automotive deal, 3 of the company's biggest clients, all because of her. But none of that mattered to Victoria Ashford. Victoria was a new regional director, transferred from the New York office. Harvard MBA, family money, old connections. She walked into Hamilton and Associates like she owned the place, because in her mind, she did. First day, she called a staff meeting. I want to make something clear. This office will reflect excellence, professionalism, a certain standard. Her eyes scanned the room and landed on Naomi, the only black woman in senior management. We'll be implementing new dress code policies, new presentation standards. Those who can't adapt will be reconsidered. Naomi felt Victoria's gaze like a weight on her chest, but she said nothing. She was a professional. She would adapt. Also, she thought. The first incident happened 2 weeks later. Naomi walked into the office wearing a tailored navy pantsuit, gold earrings, her natural hair styled in neat twists. Professional, polished, perfect. Victoria stopped her in the hallway. Naomi, a word. They stepped into Victoria's
The quarterly
office,
figures show a slight variance.
closed the door. Naomi obeyed. I've been meaning to discuss something with you. Your appearance. Naomi's heart sank. My appearance. Your hair specifically. It's... Victoria searched for the word. Distracting. Distracting. This is a professional environment, Naomi. Our clients expect a certain look, a certain polish. Mrs. Ashford, my hair is neat. It's styled. I've worn it this way for 3 years and never had a complaint. Well, you have one now. Victoria leaned back in her chair. I'd suggest something more streamlined, perhaps a straightened style, something that doesn't draw attention. Naomi's blood ran cold. Are you asking me to change my natural hair? I'm asking you to look professional. This eye is professional. Silence. Victoria smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Consider it a suggestion. For now. Naomi left the office shaking. That night, she called her mother. Mama, she told me my hair was unprofessional. Her mother, Ruth Williams, sighed through the phone. Baby, I've been hearing that my whole life. You're not the first. You won't be the last. But what do? You stay excellent. You document everything. And you don't let her break you. What if she fires me? Then she opens a door she can't close. The universe is a way of balancing things. Naomi, trust that. Naomi didn't fully understand. Not yet, but she would. The second incident came 1 month later. A major client presentation. The Richardson Group. Potential 7-figure contract. Naomi had prepared for weeks. Research. Strategy. Visuals. Every detail perfect. The morning of the presentation, she arrived early, wearing her best black dress, her hair in elegant braids, confident, ready. Victoria intercepted her at the conference room door. Naomi, you won't be presenting today. Excuse me. I've decided to have Megan take the lead on this one. Megan, 6 months at the company, no major accounts, but blonde hair, blue eyes, and Victoria's favorite, Mrs. Ashford. I prepared this entire presentation. The client specifically requested me. The client will be fine with Megan. This isn't a discussion. Victoria walked past her into the conference room. Naomi stood frozen. 10 years, countless accounts, millions in revenue, and she was being sidelined for a woman who couldn't spell strategic partnership correctly. She watched through the glass as Megan fumbled through her presentation. The Richardson Group signed anyway, but they asked for Naomi to manage the account. Victoria overruled them, gave it to Megan, and Naomi understood something she'd been avoiding. This wasn't about performance. It was about something else entirely. The third incident broke everything. Annual review meeting. Naomi's file was spotless. Perfect attendance. Record sales numbers. Client satisfaction through the roof. She walked into Victoria's office confident. She walked out destroyed. Overall rating needs improvement. Naomi stared at the paper. This is a mistake. It's not a mistake. I've noted several areas of concern. What areas? My numbers are the best on the floor. Numbers aren't everything, Naomi. They are intangibles. Presentation, client comfort, cultural fit. Cultural fit. The words hung in the air. Victoria didn't flinch. I think we both know what I mean. Naomi felt her world crumbling. This is discrimination. This is an honest evaluation. If you have concerns, you're welcome to speak with HR. Victoria smiled. But I should mention, HR reports me now. Budget restructuring. Naomi's hands clenched. You can't do this. I already have. You're dismissed. Naomi left the office, went to the bathroom, and broke down completely. 10 years, everything she'd built, everything she'd sacrificed, being dismantled by a woman who saw her as a threat, not because of her work, because of her existence. 2 weeks later, the termination. Naomi was called into Victoria's office at 4:47 p.m. on a Friday, the coward's hour, when no one could help. Victoria sat behind her desk, HR representative beside her, security guard at the door. Naomi, we've decided to terminate your employment effective immediately. On what grounds? Repeated failure to meet professional standards, insubordination, negative client feedback. That's a lie. I have emails, documentation, performance reviews from before you arrived. Those are no longer relevant. We're moving in a new direction. Victoria slid a paper across the desk. Sign this. It includes a small severance and a non-disclosure agreement. Naomi looked at the paper. $5,000 for 10 years of her life. And silence. I'm not signing that. Then you'll receive nothing. I'll receive justice. Victoria laughed. Justice? Naomi, who do you think will believe you? I have connections in this city you can't imagine. I went to school with the mayor's wife. I golf with 3 city council members. She leaned forward. You're nobody, and you'll be forgotten by Monday. Naomi stood. Maybe, but I know who I am, and I know what you did. That's enough for me. Victoria's smile faded slightly. Security, please escort Ms. Williams out of the building. Naomi picked up her box, walked past 4 to 7 silent co-workers. No one said goodbye. No one stood up, except one. Marcus, the young intern, whispered as she passed. I'm sorry, Ms. Williams. This isn't right. She nodded and walked out into the Chicago winter, unemployed, humiliated, broken, but not destroyed. Not yet. The next 3 months were the hardest of Naomi's life. She applied to 53 jobs, received 4 to 7 rejections. 6 didn't respond at all. Word had spread. Victoria's network was wide. Her poison reached everywhere. We've decided to go with another candidate. Your qualifications are impressive, but we're looking for a different fit. Unfortunately, we've received some concerning references. Victoria was blacklisting her. Naomi's savings dwindled. Her rent fell behind. Her phone got disconnected. Her mother wired money she didn't have. Mama, I can't take this. Baby, You can and you will. This is temporary. You hear me? Temporary. But it didn't feel temporary. It felt like forever. One night, Naomi sat in her apartment. Darkness everywhere. Power cut off. Chicago winter howling outside. Her breath visible in the cold. She held her phone. 2% battery. And she thought about giving up. Just disappearing. Then a text came through. From Marcus, the intern. Ms. Williams, I know things are hard right now, but I want you to know that everyone on the floor knows the truth. Victoria is losing clients left and right. Megan can't handle the Richardson account. People are talking. Another text. Don't give up. You're better than all of this. Something good is coming. I can feel it. Naomi stared at the screen until it went black, and she made a decision. She would not let Victoria Ashford be the end of her story. 2 days later, Naomi was walking down Michigan Avenue, looking for now hiring signs. Anywhere, anything. She'd applied to be a barista, a receptionist, a retail associate, all rejected, but she kept walking. She passed Hamilton and Associates, the building where her career died, and she stopped, just stood there, looking up, memories flooding back, the presentations, the victories, the friendships, the betrayal. Snow began to fall, light at first, then heavier. Naomi didn't move. Excuse me. A voice behind her. She turned. A white man stood there, tall, distinguished, silver hair perfectly styled, steel blue eyes that held something unexpected. Kindness. He wore a perfectly tailored wool coat, Italian leather shoes, a watch that probably cost more than her apartment. He looked familiar, but she couldn't place him. I'm sorry to bother you, but you seem lost in thought. Naomi wiped her eyes quickly. I'm fine. Thank you. You don't look fine. You look like someone who's been through a war. She laughed bitterly. Something like that. The man studied her face, then looked up at the building she'd been staring at. Hamilton and Associates. Something flickered in his expression. I'm David. David Richardson. Naomi's heart stopped. Richardson, as in Richardson Group. The 7-figure account she prepared. The client who asked for her specifically. You know who I am, don't you? Naomi nodded slowly. You're the client. The Richardson Group presentation. That's right. And you're Naomi Williams, the woman who should have been managing my account. Silence. How do you know that? Because I asked for you, repeatedly, and I was told you were no longer with the company. He stepped closer, blocking the wind. I also know why you're no longer with the company. I have friends in many places, including that building. Naomi's throat tightened. Then you know I was fired for looking unprofessional. David's jaw tightened. I know you were fired because Victoria Ashford is a small, insecure woman who couldn't handle your excellence. And frankly, it made me sick. Tay spilled down Naomi's cheeks despite the cold. I've been applying everywhere. No one will hire me. She's blacklisting me. David nodded. I know. I've heard the whispers. That's actually why I've been looking for you. Looking for me? For 2 weeks. I've had people searching. And here you are, standing right in front of the building where it all happened. He smiled slightly. Some would call that fate. Mr. Richardson, I appreciate the kindness, but I'm not in a position to. I'm starting a new venture, a marketing and consulting firm, and I need the best people, not the most connected, not the most pedigreed, the best. He pulled an envelope from his coat. I'm prepared to offer you $1 million annually, paid monthly, full creative control, equity stake in the company. Naomi stared at him. Why? Why would you do this for me? You don't even know me. David was quiet for a moment. Can I tell you something, Ms. Williams? She nodded. My daughter is black. Adopted her when she was 3 months old. She's 22 now. Brilliant. Harvard Law. Top of her class. His voice tightened. Last year, she was passed over for a position at a prestigious firm. They told her she wasn't the right fit. Same words, same excuse, different victim. He looked at the Hamilton and Associates building. I've watched my daughter fight battles I'll never fully understand. I've seen the way people look at her, the assumptions they make, the doors that close. He turned back to Naomi. I can't fix the whole system, but I can open doors. I can create spaces where talent matters more than appearance, where excellence isn't suspicious. He extended the envelope. This isn't charity, Ms. Williams. This is recognition. I saw your work on the Richardson presentation, even though you never got to present it. Someone sent me your original deck. Who? A young intern named Marcus. He thought I should see what Victoria buried. Naomi's eyes widened. Marcus, your work was extraordinary. Your strategy would have saved my company millions. And they bench you for a woman who didn't know the difference between revenue and profit margin. He shook his head. That's not just discrimination. That's bad business. And I don't tolerate bad business. Naomi looked at the envelope, then at the Hamilton and Associates building, then back at David Richardson. There's one more thing, he said. What? Our new headquarters will be directly across the street from this building. He pointed. Right there, the tower with the For Lease sign. I want Victoria Ashford to see you every single day, walking into your own office, building your own empire, thriving. Naomi couldn't breathe. That's petty, she whispered. David smiled. No, that's justice. There's a difference. He extended his hand. So what do you say, Ms. Williams? Will you help me build something extraordinary? Naomi looked at his hand, then at the Hamilton and Associates building, then back at David Richardson, and she shook it. Yes, I will. The next 6 months were a whirlwind. Naomi threw herself into building Richardson Consulting. She hired a team, developed strategies, landed clients. Marcus, the intern from Hamilton and Associates, was her first call. Ms. Williams, is this really you? It's really me. I hear you're the reason David Richardson found my presentation. Silence. I couldn't let your work disappear. It was too good. How would you like a job? Marcus quit Hamilton and Associates that afternoon. Ms. Williams, I would have quit the day after you left anyway. I couldn't work for that woman anymore. Then let's build something better together. And they did. Richardson Consulting launched with 3 major accounts. By month 2, they had 7. By month 4, 12. By month 6, they were the fastest growing marketing firm in Chicago. And Naomi Williams was the face of it. The grand opening celebration was held on a Saturday evening in the new Richardson Consulting headquarters, 4th to 7th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, and directly across the street, Hamilton and Associates. The night of the grand opening, Naomi stood by the window, champagne in hand, city light glittering below. David Richardson joined her. You've built something incredible, Naomi. We built it together. No, I provided resources. You provided genius. There's a difference. She smiled. Can I tell you something? Of course. 6 months ago, I was sitting in my apartment with no power, no heat. Chicago went outside, thinking about giving up. She gestured at the party behind her, the clients, the team, the success. Now I'm here. David nodded. My grandmother used to say something. The same boiling water that softens a potato hardens the egg. It's not about the circumstances. It's about what you're made of. He raised his glass. You're made of something extraordinary, Naomi. I just gave it room to grow. They clinked glasses, and then Naomi saw her, standing on the sidewalk below, looking up at the Richardson Consulting building. Victoria Ashford. Their eyes met. Even from the 4th to 7th floor, Naomi could see Victoria's expression. Shock, confusion, disbelief. Victoria pulled out her phone, made a call, spoke rapidly, probably trying to find out what was happening. Then she looked up again, and Naomi did something unexpected. She raised her champagne glass. A toast to the woman who tried to destroy her. Victoria stared for a long moment, then turned and walked away. David appeared at Naomi's shoulder. Former boss. The one and only. How does it feel? Naomi thought about it. I thought I'd feel vindicated, triumphant, like I'd won some great battle. And I just feel free, like her opinion of me doesn't matter anymore, like I've moved beyond needing her approval or her regret. David nodded. That's real success. Not the money, not the title, the freedom to define yourself on your own terms. Naomi raised a glass toward the empty sidewalk where Victoria had stood. Thank you, Mrs. Ashford, for pushing me out. You gave me the greatest gift of my life. 3 weeks later, Naomi received an unexpected visitor. Her assistant knocked on her office door. Ms. Williams, there's someone here to see you. She doesn't have an appointment, but she's insisting. Who is it? Victoria Ashford. Naomi's heart skipped, but she kept her composure. Send her in. The door opened. Victoria walked in. She looked different, smaller somehow, worn, dark circles under her eyes, hair not quite as perfect. Naomi. Victoria. Silence. May I sit? Naomi gestured to the chair. Victoria sat slowly, hands folded in her lap, eyes darting around the corner office, taking in the success she tried to prevent. I suppose you're wondering why I'm here. I was terminated from Hamilton and Associates last week. Naomi said nothing. Apparently, losing the Richardson Group account was a final straw, along with 3 other major clients who left after you did. Victoria's voice cracked. The board conducted an investigation. They found evidence of my behavior, the discrimination, the blacklisting. Employees came forward, including Marcus, before he left. She looked at Naomi. I'm being sued by the company. My husband filed for divorce. My daughters won't return my calls. Tears formed in her eyes. I've lost everything. Naomi studied the woman who had tried to destroy her, the woman who had called her unprofessional, who had mocked her hair, who had stolen her opportunities, who had tried to erase her from the industry, now broken, humiliated, alone, and Naomi felt nothing, no joy, no satisfaction, no vindication, just emptiness. Why are you here, Victoria? I came to apologize. For what specifically? Victoria flinched at the question. For everything. For the way I treated you. For the things I said. For trying to destroy your career because I was. She stopped. Because you were what? Victoria looked down at her hands. Threatened. Intimidated. Jealous. The words hung in the air. You were everything I pretended to be, Naomi. Talented. Authentic. Respected. People genuinely loved working with you. Clients trusted you instinctively, and I couldn't stand it. She wiped her tears. I told myself it was about professionalism, standards, maintaining a certain image. But it wasn't. It was about me, my insecurities, my prejudices, my fear. She looked up. I know an apology doesn't fix what I did. I know you have every right to hate me, to turn me away, to enjoy watching me suffer. Naomi leaned back in her chair. Is that what you think I want? It's what I would want, if our positions were reversed. Silence stretched between them. Then Naomi spoke. Victoria, I spent months dreaming about this moment, imagining what I would say when you finally fell, the words I would use to destroy you the way you tried to destroy me. Victoria braced herself. But sitting here now, looking at you, I realized something. What? You were never my enemy. You were just a hurting person who hurt others, a broken person who broke others, and I refused to become that. Naomi stood. I forgive you, Victoria, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Victoria broke down, sobbing. How? How can you forgive me after everything I did? Because holding on to anger would only poison my success, and I've worked too hard to let you take anything else from me. She walked around the desk. Go home, Victoria. Get help. Find healing. And when you're ready, be better. That's all I ask. Victoria stood shakily. I don't deserve your kindness. Maybe not, but I deserve to give it. That's a difference. Victoria nodded, wiped her face, and walked out. Naomi stood at her window for a long time, watching the city, feeling something she hadn't felt in years. Complete peace. That evening, Williams' family home, south side of Chicago. Naomi sat with her mother on the couch. She came to your office? Victoria herself. Yes, Mama. She apologized. Ruth Williams shook her head slowly. And what did you say? I forgave her. Silence. You did the right thing, baby. I know. But that doesn't mean it was easy. No, it wasn't. Part of me wanted to make her hurt the way she made me hurt. Ruth reached over and took her daughter's hand. But you didn't, because that's not who you are. That's not who I raised. Naomi smiled. I had a good teacher. No, baby, you had trials. I just helped you survive them. They sat together, watching the snow fall outside. Mother and daughter, survivors, victors. 1 year later, Richardson Consulting was named one of the top 50 marketing firms in America. Naomi Williams was featured on the cover of Black Enterprise magazine. Her message was always the same. Your setback is not your ending. It's your setup. The people who try to bury you don't realize they are planting you. Let them dig, then bloom. She established the Williams Foundation, providing legal support and career resources for employees facing workplace discrimination. First year, 4 to 7 cases supported. Second year, 112. Third year, over 300. Marcus became her vice president of operations. Ms. Williams, do you remember what I texted you that night? When you were at your lowest. You said something good was coming. I was right, wasn't I? Naomi smiled. You were right. David Richardson stepped back from daily operations. It's yours now, Naomi. I was just a bridge. You're the destination. She tried to protest. He wouldn't hear it. My daughter called me last week. She said watching your story unfold gave her hope, gave her proof that the system doesn't always win. His eyes glistened. That's worth more than any return on investment. On her 2-year anniversary at Richardson Consulting, Naomi stood on the same floor to ceiling windows, same city lights, same view, but everything was different. She looked across the street at Hamilton and Associates. The building had a new sign now. For lease. Contact Richardson Consulting for details. Naomi had bought the building, not out of revenge, but as a reminder that the places where we're broken can become the places where we build. She was converting it into affordable office space for minority-owned startups. The Victoria Ashford era would be erased. Something beautiful would grow in its place. Naomi's office. Late evening. She was preparing to leave when her assistant knocked. Ms. Williams? One more visitor. She says she's looking for help. Naomi frowned. It's almost 8 o'clock. I know, but she's been waiting for 3 hours. She wouldn't leave. Who is she? She said her name is Jasmine. Jasmine Carter. Send her in. The door opened. A young black woman walked in. Early 20s. Natural hair in beautiful twists. Nervous eyes red from crying. Ms. Williams? I'm so sorry to bother you so late. It's all right. How can I help you? Jasmine took a deep breath. I was fired from my job today for looking unprofessional. Naomi's heart clenched. They said my hair wasn't appropriate for the workplace. They said I didn't fit the company image. Tears formed in Jasmine's eyes. My mama told me to find you. She said you'd understand. She said you went through the same thing. Naomi felt the weight of the moment. The cycle. The pain. The opportunity to break it. She stood, walked around her desk, and hugged Jasmine. I do understand. More than you know. She pulled back. How would you like a job? Jasmine's eyes widened. What? I need a new marketing coordinator. Someone who understands what it feels like to be overlooked, underestimated, dismissed. Someone who wears their crown proudly. Jasmine broke down crying. You don't even know me. You don't know if I'm qualified. You don't know anything about me. I know you showed up. I know you didn't give up. I know you sought help instead of disappearing. That takes courage. That tells me everything I need to know. Naomi handed her a tissue. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., we'll discuss your experience, your goals, and your future. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Jasmine smiled through her tears. Yes, yes, I'll be here. After Jasmine left, Naomi sat alone in her office. She looked at the framed photo on her desk. Her and her mother, taken on the day of the company launch. Both smiling, both crying. You were right, Mama, she whispered. The universe balances things. She picked up her bag, turned off the lights, and walked out into the Chicago night. Head high, heart healed, crown intact. They called her unprofessional. She became a millionaire. They fired her for her hair. She built an empire with her hands. They tried to bury her. They didn't know she was a seed. And somewhere in Chicago, a young woman named Jasmine Carter was calling her mother. Mama, I got a job with Naomi Williams. She's giving me a chance. Her mother cried, Baby, I told you. Something good was coming. You were right, Mama. Mothers are always right. Now get some sleep. Your new life starts tomorrow. The cycle continues. Those who are lifted, lift others. Those who are healed, heal others. Those who are given a chance, give chances. That's not just success. That's legacy. If this story moved you, share it. Because somewhere right now, there's a woman being fired for looking unprofessional. Being told she doesn't fit. Being pushed out for who she is. She needs to know the truth. Her crown isn't unprofessional. It's priceless. And her story isn't over. It's just beginning.